Hi, today we are actually going to be playing quite a few levels. Actually, not that long ago I did a video where I checked how fast I could rebeat my very first demon of each difficulty, and today we are going to be doing something similar to that. So I've been a mobile player for a very long time, and in that process of being a mobile player I have managed to complete quite a few demons. I think it was around 500. So today we are going to be doing a trip down a memory lane. We are going to be seeing how fast can I recomplete my former hardest mobile demons. The very first demon that made me way better at the game is obviously Clubstep. So I actually went for this level directly after watching EBW's guide on how to get better at Geometry Dash, and I managed to beat it in actually I think less than a week. But it was by far my hardest thing I completed then. Now I don't think I'm going to be needing a timer for this, just because, well, if I don't beat this within like the first 3 attempts, I kinda suck. Because I completed this level a myriad of times, so if I don't beat it like really quickly, then we can, I think, unanimously agree that I should just retire at this point, right? But yeah, anyways, I actually think Clubstep is such a good main level. It just makes you so much better at the game, and it's kind of mandatory while progressing in this game. Even though it's so much harder than Electrodynamics and Hexagon Force and all of the other main levels thus far. I was trying to talk, okay? That doesn't count. What I was saying is it just teaches you like pretty much how to use the ship for the harder levels. And we are back, so we didn't choke because I actually wasn't talking. And there it is, Clubstep in 2 attempts. It should have been 1, but I was busy explaining stuff. I always recommend doing Clubstep as like your very first difficult thing in this game, because it will just teach you so many things that will be beneficial in the future potential hardest levels of yours. Anyways, let's move to the next level. So Just Processing is actually a kinda special level to me. I don't actually remember if I considered this as my hardest, just because I've completed a few map pack levels like Way of the Darkness before and like a few others. But this level I believe was my very first weekly demon. It was either this or Hellfire by SPKO. And actually this level is so cool. I really like this level. I think it's a very cool remake of Blast Processing. It just kind of makes it more modern. And now I say I don't know if this was exactly my hardest, just because I don't have a memory of my very early easy demons that I completed. I just remember struggling quite a lot on this level. It very well might have been my hardest at one point. Okay, I remember that ball. Bro, that was 1 attempt, so I remembered the entire level. My very first, pretty much, weekly demon was Just Processing, so now let's move on to actually something a bit harder. Next level I remember struggling a lot on was Vibration by Shady. Yes, the vibration in the Demon Gauntlet. So you might be wondering, where is Sidestep, where is Mechanical Showdown and stuff? So I did this level as the very first Demon Gauntlet level, because I just wasn't good enough to beat Sidestep. Mechanical Showdown I beat later, but it wasn't my hardest. This level though took me a very long time. It was close to like 1,000 attempts, and I actually have a funny story of this level. Story, right? I was playing this level when I was like 13 or 14, baby blader pretty much. Back then my rage control was even worse than it is now, so you can imagine how bad it actually was. And I was just going absolutely ballistic on this level. I died a lot of times to the ending. Because of that I got grounded, and then in secret while my mom was gone I played the level, and no joke I beat it in 1 fucking attempt. So maybe getting grounded was, I forgot you only click once there, but yeah, maybe getting grounded was the actual secret to beating the entire level, who knows. I just couldn't do that for the first attempt. It took me like, yeah, there we go, 3 minutes. So Vibration, yeah, I actually think the level is pretty cool. It's super unbalanced though. That's why I was raging, because I was dying to these same exact things over and over again. And that's why I got grounded in the end. But bro, it actually was for the greater good. I managed to beat the level in 1 attempt after that. Anyways, let's move to the next level. So another level in the progression line was B. I consider to be, I think, my hardest, and actually the next level is going to be quite for this. This level took me quite some time. It was my hardest for like a day. I think I actually discovered this level because I was going through like some easy demons that I mean not easy demons, medium demons that I kinda knew I could do. And then I played this and I was like, I definitely can do it. I remember spending like a few days on this level, and I actually really like this level. Even then, when I was way worse at the game and my rage control, as mentioned, wasn't the best. And I think it's definitely one of the more crowning levels. Why did I jump there? It's definitely one of the more crowning levels of the 2.1 for sure. And I think it actually managed to win the awards. It actually beat Magma Bound, if I recall correctly. I don't even know if I remember the entire thing. I think I do. Okay, you know what? I just should not talk at all. This is the same lesson from the last video. Whenever I shut up, I just perform on these levels. I mean, if I actually beat it with the normal detail, let's say, it's going to be the very first time of mine to actually complete this level. We found the ULDM. I remember this part just lagging so much on phone. And we did the hardest part of the level first try. 3.5 minutes to beat, to rebeat. Get it? Rebeat. Such a bad joke. Very fun level, highly recommend all the time. Is it a medium demon? Debatable. I personally think it is. There's quite a few challenging moments in it. If you're looking for a cool first medium demon, I definitely recommend B for that to be. Okay, I need to stop. Let's move to the next level. Alright, so this level here, The Behemoth by Jacob Rozo, is kinda a funny story once again. Just because I beat this level literally one day right after I beat B, and this was my hardest for like a little bit longer. I actually beat this level because I was on a mission sorta to complete every gauntlet, even though yeah, there was the demon gauntlet, which I was very scared of 2 levels, and that was hell and sidestep. I was playing the death gauntlet, which this level is in, and I managed to beat every single level quite easily. The levels were way easier than I thought, and then of course I came across this and I was like, yeah, this level was quite hard. I actually got super lucky with this level. As you might know, this level is notorious for having like the hardest ending ever. The boss fight is by far the hardest part of the level, and like the very middle of the level is pretty tough as well. No joke, I got to the ending like I think twice or maybe thrice. I just beat it. I was so shocked, and it was one day after I beat B, so I beat like 2 hardest in the span of 2 days. I wish I could do that now, but it's kinda impossible. Alright, getting to the boss fight. Can I remember it? Hey, I did it. One attempting another level. So this was exactly 3 minutes long. Yeah, that's stressful. I actually think it's a really cool level, but bro, it's so much harder than any level in the gauntlet it's in. Kinda stupid, but the level is really cool. It's just way harder. So if your hardest is like an easy demon and you will get to this level, yeah, you might be kinda turned off by it. Let's move on to the next level. So now, the very first big level in the progression line of mine. Fire Temple by Michigan. This level took me a very long time. This level was a hard demon when I completed it. I died twice to 94%. We don't talk about that. And my god, this level is so classic. It's just a bit unbalanced just because the very middle ship is so hard, especially on mobile. 60 or 70% of my deaths were to the ship. Yeah, this ship right here is like so much harder than any. I mean, I died to it, see? Also, yeah, I have another story. During the, you know, the event in 2020, we had, of course, e-lessons, and I decided to boot up Geometry Dash, and I was like, you know what, let me give me a few attempts to Fire Temple, and let's see how I perform. My best was, yeah, I had like 94 already at the level, so I played it, I got past the ship, and I got really far, and I was like, what if I actually beat it during an e-lesson? And so I got to UFO, this part right now on the screen. 2 seconds prior, the teacher called me out, and I was like, why now? It was literally the worst time to call me out because I was literally about to beat the level and I lost the entire focus, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I got to this part, and in this moment here, the teacher called me out. And yeah, I died twice to 94 like that just because I didn't know you could die to that for the first time. And for the second time, I was just... I don't know actually how I died the second time. 2.5 minutes for Fire Temple. So yeah, once again, Fire Temple is a brilliant level. I think it's super fun, even though it was argued upon its difficulty just because, yeah, it is very on the fence. And when I did this level on mobile, this level was my hardest for a very long time. until the next level. So what perhaps could have dethroned Fire Temple as my hardest? It was actually 9 Circles by Zobros. This level definitely is harder, it's a step up from Fire Temple, especially with the glitchy wave trail. So actually, with this level, the reason why I decided to go for a hardest like this is after Fire Temple, I was like, I am beating some easy demons, I am sometimes beating a medium demon. I was just not really interested in beating hardest, which definitely took a lot of time from my improvement. I could have done some insane demons by then. Anyways, I was playing a lot of wave challenges, and because of that, my wave skill grew and improved a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually try 9 circles. I actually remember it took me 893 attempts. I still remember the exact number. And at first, the wave wasn't even the worst part. The hardest part was this pre-drop. It took me so long to get consistent with it. I think I played the level for like a day or two, and I was passing this pre-drop, and then I started getting attempts. I got like 70 something. I died a few times to the last cube. I think my worst fail was 92 or something. I got 92. 2 or 3 attempts later, I beat the level. I was so surprised because the consistency was insane that day. I passed the wave like 3 or 4 times. And there it is, 9 circles. Boom, 2 minutes and 2 attempts. The level, absolutely fantastic. You know, actually created the trend of circles levels. The OG 9 circles, you can't really hate it. It's really cool. It improved me so much for the next generation of levels. I will talk right now. So actually, this level here, Course by Felix Ram, isn't really the next hardest I did after 9 circles. That was Shitty Bloodlust. After 9 circles, I just decided to go for shitty levels, because right after 9 circles, I was going for a lot of levels that I dropped. I was going for ToE 2v2, which I got 91% on. I was going for Fairy Dust, which I got like 65 times too. I was going for Supersonic. I think even before 9 circles, I got the level in 2 rounds a lot of times. And then I found out about shitty levels, and then I actually played them, which I took a very long break, I think a few months at least, from genuinely beating demons. And then I found this level Course, which I definitely think it's a bit harder than 9 circles. Truth be told, I actually think the shitty levels helped me a lot with the game skill. After I came back, I was just so much better at the game, and this level didn't really take me that long. It took me a few days. Kinda a story, bro. Every level has a story attached to it today. I was playing this right before going out for a tram to school, right? I had like a few minutes, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to play this level. I'll see when I will get. And I literally got to the last part of the level. I passed the last wave spam. I passed the spider, and I was like, bro, there's no way. I'm actually going to beat it right before school. And I literally died to the last possible thing you could theoretically die to, and that's hitting the block or little bit too late, because I just couldn't play for like any longer. I had to leave, and then I came back from school and I beat it in like 10 minutes. So I just redeemed myself. It was just kind of sad that I couldn't pull off that right before leaving. And this level actually gets so consistent. I remember like when I was getting to the drop, I was pretty much getting to like 60 plus every single attempt. This level just got that consistent. Oh my god, I saw. Okay, yeah, I died to that block orb, because if you actually click it too late, you will just go inside the block for some reason. This took by far the longest. I mean, yeah, 4 minutes, 12 attempts. Of course, I do believe this is one of the most fun hard demons. I've seen actually some people complaining about it, but it's because they don't know how the level works, kind of. But yeah, the level is hyper consistent and it's extremely fun. So I've never seen it why people hated it so much. And the last level I want to include in this video is ToE 2v2 by Neptune. This level, yeah, I actually was in that kind of era around, you know, Fairy Dust, Supersonic, and also other levels. I picked this level, I flunked it from like 40 something, got 91, and then dropped it for a very long time. So this is the only level where I will actually use the timer, because I don't know if I remember it very exactly. So yeah, let's actually start. As I said, I took a very long break from this level because it was actually very annoying at the time I played this. Also, a dumb story for it is. I decided to play it literally on the toilet. So, and no joke, I passed my best, which was 91, and I was like, bro, this is going to be the funniest completion ever. And I was just so panicky, I died at 95. And then I was instilled with so much rage. I came out of the toilet, sat down on the couch and beat it in like 20 minutes. That rage was a motivation to just complete the level. Bro, I keep on forgetting that part. Oh, can we actually do it? That's such bullshit. I wasn't stupid that time. Right, stop the timer. It was around 8.5 minutes. So TOE2v2, I actually think it's a cool level. Kinda unbalanced though. Some parts are way, I wouldn't even say harder, they're just very weird. Like you have to go really high up into the portal, into the wave. And then the ship at like 36 is so hard for no reason. The level is still pretty fun. Anyways guys, this was super fun to do, even though this didn't take that long just because I have a lot of pre-practice with these levels. Let me know if you would like to see me doing something like this for the shitty levels. There's quite a lot of them and they got me way better at the game as well. Thank you so much for watching once again. Have a great day everyone and goodbye.